Chapter 1 of Pope Pius X. This is the LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Recording by Maria Silvagna. Pope Pius X by Frances Alice Forbes. Chapter 1, Child and Student. In the village of Riesa in the Venetian plains was born on the 2nd of June, 1835, a child who was destined to leave his mark on the world's history. Giuseppe Melchiorre Sarto was the eldest of the 8 surviving children of Giovanni Battista Sarto, the municipal messenger and postman of Riesa, and his wife Margherita. Footnote: Joseph, Beppo, Beppino, Beppi, and Beppe are all diminutives of the same name. Sarto is the English tailor. End of footnote. They were poor people, and it was difficult sometimes to make both ends meet. The daily fare was hard and scanty, and the future pope was clothed, as an Italian biographer puts it, as God willed. But both Giovanni Battista and his wife came of a hard-working, God-fearing stock, who could endure manfully and suffer patiently, and who taught their children to do the same. Little Beppi was remarkable both for his intelligence and for his restless activity. The village schoolmaster, who at once singled him out as a pupil worth cultivating, was, we are told, not infrequently obliged to use means more persuasive than agreeable to calm his vivacity. Indeed, the seraphic element in Beppi seems to have been considerably leavened by that of the human boy. "That little rascal!" exclaimed an old inhabitant of Riesa when he heard of Cardinal Sarto's elevation to the papacy. "Many a cherry of mine has found its way down his throat." It was not long before Beppi had mastered the rudiments of reading and writing, which were all that the village school could offer. He became an efficient server at Mass, and such was his influence over his companions that at the age of 10 he was appointed leader of the somewhat unruly band of acolytes who served in the village church. The young master of ceremonies proved himself perfectly equal to the occasion. There was such a serene good temper and such a merry wit behind the somewhat drastic methods of Beppi that his authority was irresistible and unquestioned. To most boys who serve daily at the altar, the thought of the priestly life will sooner or later suggest itself. To some it comes as an overwhelming call. Giuseppe's vocation seems to have grown up with him, to have been from his earliest years the very center of his life. About half a mile beyond Riesa stands a chapel dedicated to the Blessed Virgin, containing a statue known as the Madonna delle Cendrole. Here young Beppi loved to come and pray, pouring out his joys and sorrows at the feet of the Mother of Christ, and perhaps she was the first confidant of his desire to consecrate his life to God. Certainly this sanctuary was especially dear to him in after life, as one round which clung the happiest memories of his childhood. At 12 years old the boy made his first communion. Did he think the time was long in coming? And was it the memory of the desire of his own childish heart that moved him in after years to shorten the time of waiting for the children of the Catholic world? Anything that tended to the knowledge of God seemed to have an irresistible fascination for Beppi. Never was he known to miss the classes where the parish priest, Don Tito Fusarini, and his curate, Don Luigi Orazio, taught Christian doctrine to the children of the parish. So quick was his intelligence, and so remarkable his aptitude, that Don Luigi, who at the time was teaching Latin to his own younger brother, took Beppi also as a pupil. The boy's progress soon convinced his tutor that he had the makings of a scholar, and the 2 priests determined to prepare him for the grammar school at Castelfranco. Distant about 4 miles from Riesa, Castelfranco, with its medieval and romantic atmosphere, its ancient fortress and picturesquely crowded marketplace, is not the least attractive of the old Venetian cities. Here, in 1447, was born Giorgione, and here, in the beautiful old cathedral, is to be seen one of his most famous Madonnas. On either side of the Virgin Mother, seated on a throne with the Divine Child in her arms, stand St. Francis of Assisi and St. Liberalis, the patron saint of Treviso, a young knight in armor. Many a time must the boy Giuseppe have slipped into the quiet cathedral to pray before the Madonna.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?